From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Friday, August 14th. Prepare and for another warm and muggy evening. A few spotty showers will linger south of I-70 tonight. There will be some fog overnight with a low of 68. Tomorrow, skies partly cloudy. It's going to be in the upper 80s, a hot one. Some isolated showers and storms in some places. There is a chance for spotty, strong to severe storms. In northwest Indiana, it'll feel much warmer when you factor in that humidity, but right now the high is at 87. Another round of gun violence in Indianapolis. Right now, police are searching for whoever shot and killed a person on the northwest side. It happened this afternoon on Abington Way near I-65 and Georgetown Road. Just a few hours before that, officers found a man and woman shot to death on the west side. That shooting happened on West Michigan Street. Tonight, there's no information about any possible suspects. And now the feds with Operation Legend are stepping in to help combat surging gun violence in Indy and offering new reward money for an old case. 57 federal agents will be sent to help IMPD for 45 days. It's a multi-city initiative focusing on the illegal gun trade, gang activity, armed drug trafficking, violent fugitives, and domestic violence involving guns. Here in Indy, the operation includes new efforts to track down the killer of a 10-year-old boy, Deshaun Swanson. He would have been 15 today. Deshaun was killed in a drive-by shooting in 2015 during a memorial he attended with his family. Federal authorities are now offering up to a $25,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. The new money is part of a federal operation called Operation Legend. It's to tamp down violent crime in Indy. Operation Legend is active in 8 other cities. Indianapolis will get $250,000 from the Department of Justice to cover IMPD overtime. The city has seen more than a 50% increase in homicides since this time last year. Mayor Joe Hogsett is vowing the federal partnership would not halt the city's investment in community groups. 10-Point Coalition leader Charles Harrison met with ATF officials ahead of the announcement to talk about neighborhood issues. He says he supports additional funding for law enforcement. Harrison applauded renewed focus on the 2015 homicides, and he says he couldn't sleep for days after it happened. His son is the same age as Deshaun. Operation Legend is named for a 4-year-old boy who was shot and killed in Kansas City, where the initiative launched. U.S. Attorney Josh Minkler says they are open to considering additional rewards. One of 2 teenagers shot outside a basketball field house in Fishers has died. The Marion County Coroner's Office identified the victim this afternoon as 17-year-old Thomas Pearson Jr. Investigators think 2 male suspects targeted Pearson and another 17-year-old boy as they were getting into their car. Police say the suspects left in a brown, older model Toyota Camry. It happened at the Best Choice Field House near the 116th State Road 37 interchange on I-69. Both boys were alert and speaking as they went into the hospital, but Pearson's condition got worse and he died overnight. Anyone with information should call police. To the latest state coronavirus numbers now, health officials confirmed 1,079 new cases today. Those are from Wednesday and Thursday. More than 78,600 Hoosiers have now tested positive. Another 8 Hoosiers have died. Those deaths were between August 7th and yesterday. So far, 2,906 people have died. And the CDC now predicts 189,000 Americans will die from COVID-19 by September 15th. And Dr. Anthony Fauci is warning that the death toll could be more massive if we try to achieve herd immunity. Herd immunity is reached when around 70 to 90% of a population becomes immune to a disease, either through infection and recovery or vaccination. But it's not clear if COVID-19 survivors have immunity. Today, California became the first state to top 600,000 cases. And in Georgia, the White House Coronavirus Task Force says the state isn't doing enough to fight off the virus. Dr. Fauci says, bottom line, he's not pleased. Yesterday marked the 18th consecutive day the U.S. recorded more than 1,000 COVID-19 deaths.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Soo, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
U.S. retail sales appear to be back to the levels they were at before the pandemic. The Commerce Department's report today shows a 1.2% increase in purchases last month. It's boosted by solid gains in appliances and clothing. Sales at retail stores and restaurants have not risen for 3 straight months. The Indiana Election Commission has blocked a plan to use no-fault absentee by mail voting for the November election. The Democrat-sponsored plan failed in a 2-2 vote this morning. It would have allowed anyone to request a mail-in absentee ballot for the general election without providing a specific reason. It would have been the same system used during the delayed primary earlier this year. At least 2 federal lawsuits could still allow no-fault absentee by mail in Indiana. The Election Commission says the state has already received more than 37,000 applications for mail-in absentees. At this point in 2016, Indiana had just received 109. And is Central Indiana's postal system able to handle a potential increase in those mail-in ballots? The USPS sent Indiana Secretary of State Connie Lawson a letter. The letter states Indiana's deadlines for requesting and casting mail-in ballots may not mesh with the Postal Service's delivery standards. Gregory Jones is the president of the Indianapolis Area American Postal Workers Union. He represents upwards of 1,500 postal workers. He says postal employees in Central Indiana usually handle about 1 million pieces of mail a day. As of today, President Trump says he opposes the idea of giving the USPS billions of dollars in requested funding. A USPS spokesperson says the Postal Service's financial condition is not going to impact our ability to process and deliver election and political mail. The Postal Service recommends that domestic non-military voters mail their ballots at least 1 week prior to their state's due date to allow for timely receipt by election officials. The Postal Service also recommends that voters submit their ballot request early enough so that it's received by election officials at least 15 days before Election Day. Robert Trump was a former top executive at the Trump Organization. He most recently filed a lawsuit on behalf of the Trump family seeking to block the publication of a tell-all book by the president's niece. Firefighters are out now battling massive wildfires in 3 western states. And in California, hot, dry weather forecasted for this weekend could make for a dangerous condition. In Los Angeles County, a forest fire is now threatening more than 5,000 homes. It's just 12% contained so far. Authorities in Oregon think a human caused the Mosier Creek fire. That fire is about 10% contained. And in Colorado, an interstate is closed as 3 major fires burn. Investigators in North Carolina are trying to figure out why a man shot a 5-year-old boy to death. Family held the funeral for Cannon Hinnant yesterday. Mourners rallied inside and outside the funeral home, and many have reached out in masses online. Cannon's youth pastor says he was always a joy. 25-year-old Darius Sessoms is charged with first-degree murder in the case. Cannon's father says Sessoms is his neighbor and that he shot Cannon while he was playing outside last week. So far, no word on a possible motive. A former FBI lawyer will plead guilty to making a false statement. It's the first criminal case brought forth in an investigation into the Russian meddling investigation. Kevin Kleinsmith plans to admit to altering an email to another official in 2017. That email originally said that former Trump foreign policy advisor Carter Page was a source for the CIA. Kleinsmith now will admit to changing it to read that Page was not a source. The email was part of a warrant application to renew federal surveillance of Page. U.S. Attorney John Durham is now looking into possible wrongdoing by the FBI. Today is Fast Friday at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Andretti Autosport cars quickly jumped to the top of the board with Marco Andretti logging a lap at 233.491 miles per hour. It's the fastest lap in a practice, which is considered unofficial, since Sebastian Bourdais went 233.116 miles per hour in 2017. The Honda team seemed to quickly adapt to the traditional speed bump given by the Indy car the day before Saturday, qualifying for the Indy 500. Andretti teammates Ryan Hunter-Reay, James Hinchcliffe, Alexander Rossi, and Zach Veach all topped 231 miles per hour. Andretti said his goal is to crack the top 9 in qualifying to ensure a starting spot in the first 3 rows for the August 23rd race. The starting order is determined by a 4-lap average for each driver, and Andretti said his team will spend the rest of Friday focusing on finding consistent laps. Team Penske, meanwhile, appeared not to be in a hurry to get on track and was just towing its cars out to pit lane 90 minutes into practice. Then reigning IndyCar champion Joseph Newgarden turned in just a few laps before Team Penske towed the car back to the garage as the organization recognized an issue and all its cars seemed to need immediate adjustments. The Pacers have one more shot to prove they can beat Miami in the playoffs. They're playing the Heat today. The winner gets the 4th seed and the home court advantage, even though that doesn't mean much in the bubble. The Pacers haven't beaten Miami once this season, and tonight both teams are resting their starters ahead of their first round meeting next week. The best-of-7 series between the Pacers and the Heat starts Tuesday. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
allindianapodcastnetwork.com.